We will be getting responses from the department and the two offices that I've just mentioned, the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor and the Parliamentary Legal Advisor. But I must state this beforehand, Honorable Member, that we have not received any document other than the one that was from the department. I think even itself, it talked on one clause which talked about property, not any other thing. So as the people that will be presenting to us, the legal people from the department, the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor, the Parliamentary Legal Advisors, they must all be aware that we don't have any documents that they sent to us for this particular meeting, which is very, very important. Because one of the things that when we are dealing with this bill is that we want to see transformation in this country. With those few words, I welcome you all, those that are here to present on behalf of the offices that I've mentioned, and all the honorable members that will be discussing and deliberating on their presentation. Ms. Martinez, do we have any apologies for this meeting?
Yes, Chair, we do have one apology from the Honorable Van Staden, and that's the only one that we have. Thanks.
Ms. Martinez, don't you have any apology from the minister, or is the minister here? I believe we received an apology from her.
There was correspondence from the minister, Honorable Chairperson. Apologies for that one.
Okay, thank you. Indicating that she will be attending the cabinet today. Can we then get our first presenter, Ms. Martinez, who will be?
Please bear with me, Chairperson. I'm trying to upload the agenda on the screen. All right, thank you, Chair, and good morning to yourself, honorable members and our colleagues. Today we will have a presentation first by the DPWI Legal Branch, followed by the Office of the State Law Advisor, and thereafter will be our Parliamentary Legal Advisor. Thanks, Chairperson.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. I understand that the department has hired people to respond on their behalf on this. Over to you. I don't know whether is it Mr. Naidu or what? Yeah, over to you.
Good morning, Chairperson. It's my learned leader, Mr. Budlander, who will be presenting this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson. I'm Jeff Budlander. I'm presenting with the assistance of my colleague, Mr. Naidu. I hope that the members of the committee have the memorandum which we prepared yesterday. As we explained in that memorandum, we were given on Saturday afternoon a very large volume of the submissions and presentations and other documents which have been made to the committee in the public participation process. The members of the committee will know that there has been a huge volume of responses received. We explain in our memorandum that it has not been possible for us to work through all of those in the time available since Saturday afternoon, and we are therefore only in a position to deal with a couple of limited matters at this stage. If the committee would like us to deal more broadly with the representations which have been received and the submissions which have been received, and if the department would like us to do that, we're of course happy to do so, but I'm afraid we're not able to do so today. So today we present just a limited report, and we hope that we may be excused once we have done that, because we're not currently in a position to contribute on the other matters on which the committee may be deliberating. The main matter which we have considered is the question of the definition of property. As members will be aware, the term property is not defined in the bill. It appears in the Constitution, and it, of course, is not defined in the Constitution either. And so the question is whether the bill should contain a definition of property. In our memorandum from the third page, or fourth page, we explain that that Section 25 of the Constitution contains two sorts of provisions. Firstly, there are provisions which protect existing property rights. They provide entrenched protection of existing property rights, and they protect them against interference, against unconstitutional interference. The second thing which the bill, which Section 25 of the Constitution does, is it provides for transformation of property rights. It provides for restitution, it provides for redistribution, and it provides for tenure reform.
I heard that you had a challenge because you received this document only on Sunday, and as such, that is why you have only touched one clause which talks of property. I believe, and you even indicated that you're still going to sit down and go all over the document so that you prepare a document that will talk. I think we must agree that we must release you so that you come when you have the document, having gone through all the clauses and prepared something that will not only talk to one clause of this. I think we must take it there, not badly, of course, but we want, as we deliberate on this, as the members in preparation for our presentation to Parliament. We don't want to do this now and then come next year and do another clause. That won't be fair even to people of South Africa, even to us representing the parties that sent us to Parliament. Honorable members, I think we must release the department on this and then ask the, noting also again that even the Office of the Chief State Law Advisors, we don't have anything with us. So maybe we'll hear from them what they will be saying to us. Honorable Graham-Murray, Honorable Hicklin, Honorable Van Schalkwyk, on that note.
Madam Chair, thank you very much for the opportunity. And Mr. Budlender, Advocate Budlender, thank you very much for the document you prepared in such a short time. I just want to, before we end this discussion, your document was very interesting, and it was fantastic in that it spoke to the constitutional definition of property, which is obviously what's referenced in the Act, where we refer to property as so defined in Section 25. I think the issue that people are having with the property clause itself is that it shouldn't be something that needs to be defined in terms of a constitutional mandate.
Honorable Graham-Murray,
yeah.
I wouldn't want us to interact with the document that Advocate Bandla sent to us, because
Sarah, I appreciate that. Sorry, if I may just say, Chair. Sorry, the reason I am is that because if we
can I finish?
No problem. No problem.
They have indicated that they're still going to prepare some documents. So what I'm expecting from honorable members is this thing that I'm saying, that we release Advocate Bandla so that he and his team, including with the department, they prepare a document that talks to all the clauses, not only one clause. So can we please not entertain one clause that they have prepared?
Madam Chair, if we're sending the advocate away to go and work on this, I would like to just highlight the fact that the issues raised around the property clause are not the constitutional definition of property, but the fact that people need to understand what property can be expropriated, and it shouldn't require a constitutional definition. So some of the property clause things that he's listed in terms of what has come through in terms of case law stipulates to certain property that I don't believe should be included in the expropriation bill. So all I wanted to say is that when he's looking at that clause, he can look at it from the perspective of the expropriation bill and not the Constitution. That was all I wanted to say. So I hope that clarifies it. Thank you.
Honorable Hicklin.
Thank you so much, Chair. My question is a little more direct. We have our own legal experts in Parliament. And my question, Advocate Budlander, with absolutely no disrespect to you and your firm at all, sir, please take this in the spirit with which I am making the statement, is why is the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure employing the services of an outside company when Parliament has its own legal advisors and Parliament has its own legal state law advisors who can do the work that is now being given to an outside consultant? Will this not be viewed as fruitless and wasteful expenditure? That is the nature of my question. It has absolutely no bearing on the report that has been prepared, or albeit that it may only look at one clause. My question is simply, we have our own law department, so to speak, our own state law advisor. Why is the Minister of the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure asking an external company, a set of consultants, to do the work that Parliament should be doing? I fail to understand this. And please, Advocate Budlander, please understand this is not a question about you. This is a question about our very own Minister. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Hicklin. Advocate Bandla, please don't respond to this question because you didn't come here on your own self and your team. We wrote to the department earlier in October, November, asking them that we'll be having this meeting on this particular day, and as such, we want their responses. So please don't take it that way. Honorable Hicklin, in this one, Honorable Advocate Bandla cannot respond to you because he didn't bring himself here. He was appointed by the department, and as such, it's good when you're saying that that is for the minister who is not here today. But we expected the responses from the department. Honorable Van Schalkwyk.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and good morning to the Chairperson members, the department, and also everyone who's making a presentation. Chair, I wanted to raise the issue in terms of what Advocate Budlander indicated, to say that it's best for us to refer the matter to the first meeting next year. But I think it's extremely unfair that you rightfully raised that we should direct any questions to the advocate whilst he's not in a position to answer. I think our questions should be, and our concerns should be directed to the department and in particular to the minister. I think in that regard, I agree then that we should pause or request the advocate to give us feedback next year or in our first meeting. But Chairperson, that we ensure that we get a presentation well in advance for us to screen through it and to prepare us properly for the meeting. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Van Schalkwyk. What is clear is that Advocate Bandla is not ready with the department because he is representing the department here. And as such, Advocate Bandla and the department, we are releasing you from this meeting and we'll convene another meeting early next year because we already have the next few meetings. We already adopted a program that will be dealing with a certain item. And remember that this bill is very crucial. All the South Africans are looking at us in addressing this issue of expropriation. But before we allow the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor and the Parliamentary Services, I want to put it clear, we don't have any documents with us that you sent to us on the issues that you are going to present. So I also believe that you need to send us the documents because we are not here to rubber stamp what you are saying. As the representative in Parliament, we have to read what you are sending to us so that when we are deliberating from an informed position, not what you are telling us. So I want to check whether the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor and the Parliamentary Law Advisors, their state of readiness for this meeting. Ms. Martinez, maybe you can respond. Whether do you have any documents with you?
Chairperson, I can confirm that there are no documents that were sent to me apart from the input that was given by Advocate Badlander. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know whether are they ready to respond. Yes.
Greetings, Chairperson, and all the members. It's Pumelele, Chairperson, that's speaking. With your permission, if I may, from the Legal Services of Parliament.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Thank you for the questions that we are supposed to address first before we get into the task of the day. Chairperson, I think just to bring responses to the direct questions that you posed for myself as well as the State Law Advisor, Mr. Van Breda. I do, for myself, have a presentation that is prepared, which would have spoken to the issues about today. However, Chairperson, in light of all the information and all the work that has been done, I think
Chair, yes, with
Honorable Suisa.
the echo. I don't know if the official has opened another device, but there's an echo that's sounding.
Thanks, Louis. I heard.
Pumelele, there is an echo on your side. Shuaib, you wanted to raise something? Okay, Pumelele, can you work on your echo? We can hear you.
The echo comes from, but I brought down the volume because maybe it's the volume. But other than that, there is nothing I can say is creating the echo on my side.
Okay, please continue.
Thank you, Chairperson. Also, I do not have any other devices on. I think maybe the phone, which was next to the PC, maybe is also creating the problem. So I'll move them a little bit away from me. Sorry about that, Chairperson. Basically, Chairperson, I had prepared a presentation and I had tried to have a conversation with the state law advisor in anticipating how we can go about with the work that we've been asked to do. And understanding normally how the process is run, we were also expecting that perhaps the department will come first with their submissions into what has been said, and then we add on or we deal with the issues that they would not have touched on. In that light, Chairperson, and having followed what National Assembly Rule 2866 was directing us into how to go and which process we add now, which is looking at the principles on the subject matter of the bill, once the public participation has taken place. That is exactly what we're going to touch on today, and we're going to be speaking, both of us, the state law advisor and myself, onto those issues that we have picked up. We are basically ready, but as I said, for me, I've got quite a number of presentations that I have been preparing, considering what has been taking place since October, since last year, 2020, because today we are actually marking the full 12 months having started with the briefing. The committee received the briefing on the same date last year, which today we're coming back again to deal with the issues now as raised by the public. So, Chairperson, in that light, we are ready, but I was going to request, and I do request that rather we would have asked for more time as well, but we do have issues that we will speak to today, and therefore I felt the presentation, and as I'm saying, there are about 4 or 5 of them that I've done. It would be unfair to submit all of those to the members. So I needed to collate and compile them into one that speaks to all the issues. But for today, we definitely are ready, Chairperson, to guide the committee and to present our views on what it is that we pick as challenges. And we do, as the support team, all of us supporting the committee, the content and the committee secretary, as well as myself from legal services, the department, and the state law advisor, to have a meeting so that we can have our minds meeting and speaking with one accord, so that we iron out all the issues where we would not be seeing eye to eye. And unfortunately, because we were not sure of how the process will pan out, we haven't been able to have that meeting. But this meeting the committee has today will definitely help, because what we will say today will also assist the department when they come back at whatever future time. They will be able to cover the issues that we picked up in response to the submissions that the public has made. That is the position we have, Chairperson, and I do have a presentation that I would have been flighting on the platform today, just to speak to all the matters that I have picked up. Thank you, Chairperson. I hope that answers the questions. Mr. Van Breda may also speak or indicate whether he would prefer that I go ahead or he starts with your permission, Chairperson. Thank you so much.
Mr. Van Breda, your state of readiness for today's meeting?
Yes, Chair. I represent the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor, as you have communicated earlier, Chair. I concur with the Parliamentary Law Advisor in that it would be preferable if we could have more time to deal with all of the issues together with the department. However, we are both ready to speak to certain issues. I think it's probably the biggest constitutional issues in the bill. We have prepared to speak to those issues. Chair, I apologize for not providing a memo, a presentation to the committee. The normal process, Chair, is that the department would come to the committee with a presentation, and that presentation would address every single issue that was raised in the public comments. The Chief State Law Advisor would then assist the committee by giving advice in respect of constitutional issues. And what we then do is work together with the Parliamentary Advisor in proposing amendments. We also effect amendments to the bill, amendments which the committee wishes to effect to the bill. We work closely together with the Parliamentary Law Advisor and the department. So I do apologize, Chair. I was not aware that we were required to provide a memo, because that is not the normal procedure that we are used to, Chair. So, Chair, as I said, our office, we address constitutional issues. The department is the only party that can speak to matters of policy and other matters in respect of the bill. But Chair, I am ready to proceed, but with your permission, Chair.
Honorable members, your take on this one? Honorable members, or should I conclude for you?
Conclude, Chair.
I must conclude for you, but there is Honorable Higgins and Honorable Higgins.
Chair, I totally would agree that you can conclude for us. I am uncomfortable in having nothing before me that I can read and try and formulate questions. I accept that I'm very good at reading and formulating questions on the fly, but this is not something that we can. This piece of legislation is so vitally important to the future of South Africa. I honestly and truly don't believe that we can take it as lightly as this and just say, look, we'll take questions on the fly. We'll analyze stuff as we go along and ask questions as we go along. I really believe that whatever documentation needs to be studied before we actually come before the meeting. And I am very uncomfortable particularly with this piece of legislation and the implications that it has for the whole of South Africa, for us to actually have a presentation and make inputs on stuff that we haven't had time to look at. So I am very uncomfortable with that aspect of it, that I haven't had 5 minutes to actually read the documentation, and trying to read the documentation, listen to it, and make up questions at the same time. I am uncomfortable with that. As I sit, I don't believe I would be doing justice to my constituents if I have to do that right now. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Higglin. Honorable Suisa.
Thank you, Chair. I was also going to be a bit concerned about not having any documents, because sometimes there are those little words that people would take for advantage that we would understand them. But if we do have the document in front of us, it's going to be easier to ask those little explanations that we might come up, that might pop up in the document itself. Because from my experience is that even if sometimes when a presentation is done, you'd find that there are certain things that are being skipped, and then to us it's going to appear as being important. So it's only going to be wise or very helpful if we can get the document or the memo, as the presenter has said, that it's a memo, that we should be able to go through it, even if they're going to fly it. Because I always pick up little things in between the presentation that might slip the mind of the presenter to say that this might not be important, and then focus on other things. So it's only fair for us to get the documents. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Hicklin, thank you, Honorable Suisa. As I indicated earlier on, that we don't have any documents, It was only that one pager from Advocate Bandla, even it's only referring to one clause of the bill, not to all the clauses, the definition of the property. And as such, as you have heard, honorable members, as this portfolio committee, we feel that no due diligence was done, and we can't interact with information that will be presented to us now. We have said this from the beginning when we started this, that it is a very crucial bill. It is a very important bill. The people of South Africa are all looking at us on how are we going to handle this bill moving forward. It has serious implications to the future of this country. Remember, here we are repealing an act that was promulgated by the previous government, the government of apartheid. We can't then take it so lightly as we are doing now. So, Mr. Van Breda, Pumelele, we are also requesting you go back and do your work. And much as you may consult our team, our portfolio committee team, but it can be that you will conclude with them. You are going to bring us information. We are going to read it before we come here, so that when we ask questions, we deliberate on that document from an informed position, having read this document. So on those few words, we are therefore dismissing you. We will invite you definitely next year. Maybe it will be our first meeting in 2022. The legal services from the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, represented by Advocate Bandla, the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor, represented by Mr. Van Breda, the Parliamentary Legal Services, represented by Ms. Pumelele. We are therefore dismissing you from this meeting. Thank you for coming, though we are not happy because nothing that we had on our side. But thank you for coming. We are therefore dismissing you in this particular meeting. Ms. Martinez, can we deal with another item after this one?
Thanks, Chair. The next item is the consideration and adoption of the minutes of previous meetings. And with those, we've got 4 sets of minutes that speak to the process of the expropriation bill. The other one was for the budget vote. And the third one was the BRRR meetings. So I would like to start, Chair, with the meeting that was held by the committee on the 11th of May, as I put it up on screen. This meeting, we received a briefing by the entities of the DPWI on the annual performance plans for 2021-22. We then considered and adopted the budget vote report of the portfolio committee, and we had planned to adopt minutes of the previous meeting, which I think basically happened. Okay, Chair, I'm not sure if the members have any inputs perhaps on the minutes, because the minutes were sent through to members to just consider before this meeting. And if I may go through to the resolutions. There was basically one resolution that all the recommendations as outlined on the 2020-21 budget vote be implemented by the DPWI according to the set timeframes. So in this meeting, Chairperson, the committee basically adopted the 2020-21 budget vote report for tabling. Thanks, Chair. That'll be all for now for this set of minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Honorable members, can we deal with these minutes? Any corrections? In the absence of corrections, because I don't see any hands, can we then get a mover for the adoption of the minutes and a second.
Njobo.
Sorry, Chair. I do see a problem on 5.2 minutes of the meeting held on the 4th of May. Can we just have a look at that? It says Honourable No Name, seconded by Honourable No Name, moved for the adoption of the minutes. I was just running through that. 5.2 needs to come out because 5.1 says Honourable Van Skalkwyk honoured, seconded by Honourable Hicklin, move for the adoption. And then 5.2 says Honourable No Name, seconded by Honourable No Name. Do you see what I'm seeing, Nola?
Yes, Honourable Hicklin, I see it, but we can't take it out because those were the minutes that are also adopted. I just have to go back to the recording to establish exactly which member moved for the adoption and which one moved for the secondment. Because
5.1 is repeated as 5.2 with no names. That's the only point I'm making to you.
But the minutes are of different dates. That's the point.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you so much.
On that note that Ms. Martinez said, there's something that needs to be clarified and you need to go to the recordings and check. Can we then defer these minutes maybe to the meeting that we'll have next week? Can we go to another set?
Thanks, Chair. The following set of minutes are the minutes of the meeting that was held on the 7th of September. This was the second phase of oral submissions on the expropriation bill. Chair, I'd like to, through you, give the members an opportunity to just make comments or inputs if there are, so that we can note them.
Honourable members, any corrections? Honourable Hicklin, is this a legacy hand or a new hand?
No, it's a new hand, Chair.
Okay. Honourable Hicklin?
On the apologies, it's mine. Initials are inverted. It's MB, not BM. Please, Nola.
Thank you. Any other amendment that or correction that we see that has to be done on the minutes? In the absence of that, can we then get a mover that says these are the true reflection of what we held on the 7th of September?
Morning, Chairperson and members. My name is Lindy Njobo. I move the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you, Honourable Njobo. Any seconder? I don't see any hand. Any seconder?
I'll second, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Graham Murray. Can we then get another set of minutes, Ms. Martinez?
Thanks, Chair. The next set of minutes are the minutes of the meeting that was held on the 11th of November, where the Portfolio Committee received BRRR briefings from the Auditor General, the DPWI, as well as the entities. Chair, I see Honourable Hicklin has raised a hand. I'm not sure if it's about this current set of minutes.
It is, Nola. Again, it's BM Hicklin, not MB again.
All right, thank you, Honourable Member. Let's just agree that we'll fix the initials on all the minutes after this meeting. Thanks, Chair. Chair, this was basically all the presentations that had to do with the BRRR, and which we held the same day. And in this meeting, we also considered and adopted the BRRR for 2020-21. And the two resolutions in the main, Chair, if I may zoom into that, the DPWI was supposed to submit a detailed report to the committee about progress made with the Telkom Towers project, outlining all specific timelines within 7 working days after that meeting. So the due date was the 17th of November, 2021. The information, Chair, we can confirm that we have not yet received it. And the second resolution is that the DPWI should implement the recommendations as captured on the BRRR report. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Honorable members, other than Honorable Hicklin on the correction of her initials. Any corrections on this set of minutes? In the absence of any hand talking on the correction, can we then have a mover for the adoption of these minutes as the true reflection of what we discussed on the date? Honorable Graham Murray.
I move, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Graham Murray. Can we have a seconder, please? Honorable Hicklin.
I'll second, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Hicklin. These are the true reflection of what we discussed on the day. The last set of minutes, Ms. Martinez.
Thank you, Chair. The last set of minutes were the minutes of the meeting that was held last week, the 17th of November, where the committee received a presentation on the Expropriation Bill public participation reports from the content team. The resolution was that the committee adopted the reports with amendments and took to accept the recommendation of processing the bill during the first term of 2021. And we'd like to thank the Honorable Graham Murray for submitting her inputs as she had promised in that meeting. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. Ms. Martinez, any corrections, honorable members? In the absence of hands, any mover that we adopt these minutes as the true reflection of what I see Inez's hands.
Apologies, Chairperson. I think it's just the first term of 2022 at the end. It's next year, if I've got it correct, unless I'm reading it incorrectly. Apologies. Thanks.
Correct, Ines. Thank you so much. We've just amended that one.
Thank you. Honorable Graham Murray.
Madam Chair, with the amendment as highlighted by Ines, I support the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Graham Murray. Any seconder? Honorable Hicklin.
Seconded, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Hicklin. As the committee, we are adopting these minutes as the true reflection of what we discussed last week. Any other item, Ms. Martinez?
There's no other item, Chair. Just one announcement that next week we'll be dealing with the 2 petitions sponsored by the Honorable Seitlolo on the road and transport issues pertaining to public works. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. And in addition of that, could you also please bring the set of minutes that we asked you to defer to another meeting also on that meeting?
We'll do so, Chairperson. Thank you. So we'll basically adopt 2 sets of minutes next week, the one that was deferred and today's one. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Honorable members, thank you again for your deliberations in this meeting and for always playing your oversight role. As a public representative and especially members of Parliament, one of the responsibilities is to play our oversight role. And that means we always need to be vigilant. We can't come to the meeting and then we present it with something and then we rubber stamp that. We need to read the documents before we come to the meeting, because we don't want, as this portfolio committee, adopting something that will be challenged, that will have all the loopholes. And when it goes to Parliament, we are found wanting. So we have to play our due diligence as this portfolio committee. And as such, I really appreciate your vigilance today of saying that we cannot continue with the presentation that we're only going to get today. So I really appreciate that, honorable members. Let's continue doing that and representing the people of South Africa that voted for us to come to this parliament and expecting us to work hard and play the oversight role. Thank you, honorable members. With those few words, our meeting today was very, very, very short. So please prepare for the parliamentary sitting that will also have in the afternoon today. The meeting is adjourned.
Recording
stopped. Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you, Chair. I appreciate your willingness to allow us to play our oversight role. It really is important that we have your backing too.
Thank you, Honorable Hickley. Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody. See you later.